Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. And there's quite a bit of stuff I have to tell you guys for this week, but it still should fit into our 30 minutes that I try to keep these videos at. So for starters, we will start with the new weekly events. So this week we have Call of the Scarab event, which is it's not a 1-day event, but it's close. It's a 2-day event. So that'll be January 21st to the 23rd. The weekly will be the pet battles. The raid releases this week. So Nyalotha will have normal and heroic difficulty for it. And there will be the PvP Brawl Warsong Scramble. And then also Lunar Festival starts this week. So Lunar Festival will start on the 24th and it runs till February 7th. So you have quite a bit with that one. As for goals, I'm going to do another non-goal week. Usually I do set goals for myself, but I'm probably going to be pretty occupied with the raid. So yeah. And there's a couple of other things I have in mind for some content for the channel regarding WoW as well. And yeah, I think this week is going to be a pretty busy week as far as WoW content goes. And it's pet battle week, and I've been kind of waiting for that to come back around because there's some pets that I've discovered that I need them leveled. I'm kind of at a halt with a lot of my progression when it comes to the pet battle dungeons because of these specific pets sitting at level 1. So yeah. So no goals this week, but there are things I want to do. We're just not going to put them in goals for the video for this week. I'll bring goals back in next week. But what I have set for myself that I want to do is I want to continue grinding the rep for the 2 new factions. I'm sitting at friendly now. And I want to keep doing visions so that I can upgrade the cloak more. And I would also, there's the mount runs that I do every week. I've changed the day from Tuesday to Wednesday because I changed the stream day. I discovered last week, because for those that know me well, know that WoW ranks higher than most things. I cancel streams to play WoW, basically. So what ended up happening is last week I didn't stream because I hopped in on Tuesday. I'm like, I could do this. I'll do this patch stuff. And I don't like to do that stuff on stream. I used to always stream the patches. But then I discovered that my WoW following is a lot better over on YouTube. And I always wanted to have the really important stuff for the YouTube channel. And I also don't like dragging stuff from the stream because then you get the stream conversation that, unless I have the conversation literally on, the window that I'm capturing, you have no idea. All you're hearing is me talk to them. You're not seeing what they're saying to me. So that's why I don't stream it. I don't stream it because I like you guys to feel like you have my full focus, and I want you to not be confused by videos, right? So yeah, most of what I do is recorded without stream. I leave putts around stuff for streams, like the mount runs and shit they do over and over and over, and yeah. So yeah, I'm like, I got time. I'll do this patch stuff, and then I'll be good for stream in an hour. And well, the patch stuff took all night. I was in the patch literally all night because it was a much longer process than I thought it would be. And that's even with me being geared. I wasn't some non-geared character. I was pretty well geared. But, there was just so much storyline and so much stuff to do that it took longer, and I went from postponing the time to the stream to just not feeling like it would be worth it to stream. So that's when I decided that, even although Mount Runs has always been on Tuesdays, I just think it's a safer bet to have the Mount Runs on Wednesdays. That way, in the future, this is the final patch for BFA, so we're pretty clear now. But in the future, if some big patch comes out on the day that I like to do Mount Runs, then, we're safe, right? But yeah, it doesn't happen often, but I felt bad for that one. That is that. No goals this week, but I will bring some more into the picture next week, which will probably entail our mythics. And I'll let you guys know, of course, like I usually do, what I completed for the week, for this week of no goals. Like off the record, I guess, the goal is to do as many bosses as I possibly can in the raid, and to do anything in the mythics. Yeah, I'm not expecting anything big in the mythics because it's got a new affix that I'm going to have to get used to. And yeah, and the difficulty would probably be a little higher. And yeah, so that's that. Okay, well, let's start with how I decided to title this episode. So this right here is a new rat mount. Basically, you can get this mount two different ways, and I'm glad they put the second way in. The first way is how you see on this picture. You subscribe to the 6 months, automatically get it after that. And the second way is that it is on the store. So if you don't want to do the sub thing, you can just buy it off the store. Which is, I like to see that, because even although I've been subbed pretty much since 2004, I just, I sub monthly. I never sub, 3, 6 months, a year. I just prefer to do monthly. And I hate when they do these things, because they force you to slap down, what is it, $90 or something for subs in order to get the mount. And yeah, I just don't like it. I did it for the last one, and then I was super pissed when it just went on the store, right? So I'm glad it just immediately went on the store, so I don't have to scrounge up fucking $90 just to get this mount. So yeah, two different ways. You can either do the sub for the 6 months or pay the $20 on the store. And it is available right now. The next part, let's go over some issues that have been in the game. So, first issue is the auction house. The auction house has had a pretty big issue. It's a new system, and I noticed an issue right away, because the thing I was hyped for the most with the auction house is not working. It resets every time I log out. So that is the favorite list. Yeah. I noticed that right away, and I'm like, I was sitting there, I'm like, is this a bug or is this how they intended on it working? And, after some, research, I found out it is a bug. So the favorite list is supposed to work how I imagined. Just it's not at the moment, not working properly. But basically what happens is like you throw your stuff into a favorite list, and as soon as you log out, the next time you log in, your favorite list is empty. So it makes it kind of useless. And so I hope they fix that one really soon. Another issue that's been going on with it is that if you're buying in high quantities, you don't get your mail. There's been a lot of people that have been like, have they changed it? Do we just automatically get our gold? No, you do not automatically get your gold. If you're not getting gold for the stuff you're selling, there's an issue. So they're in the works of fixing that. I'm hoping by the time I post this video on Monday that it'll be fixed, but probably not. It's Sunday right now, so, for a big issue like that. However, it has been an issue all week, so who knows. Also, at the beginning of the patch 8.3, there were bans going out for people repeatedly looting Black Empire coffers. It was an interesting ban, to say the least. It's so weird what gets people banned. Like, some of the stuff I agree with, but then I'm like, I do my own thing, so a lot of the stuff people get banned over, I don't even give a shit about, to be honest. It doesn't affect my gameplay, so I really don't care. But basically, these bans were going out. The news aspect here is that they removed the ban. So they did the ban, and then they realized that, that was wrong, and, removed it. And I think as a general opinion here, I guess, because, like I said, if it doesn't affect my gameplay, I typically don't give a shit. But as a general, for those people getting banned, I think that's a stupid ban. Personally, I think Blizzard needs to stop banning people for their own mistakes. And the reason I say this, I'm not condoning cheaters or anything, but the reason I say this is because if, say you don't normally play WoW, and you come back for the patch, which is the case in a lot of situations. People coming back for a patch they're hyped for, or for a new expansion. They don't know that that's not a normal thing. It's like a prime example would be Diablo. I had stepped away from it for a while, and when I returned one season, there was a gem that was super, super powerful. And I just thought it was a kick-ass gem. I had no idea it was a bug until I, heard about it. I wasn't even reading posts. I just heard, through chat that, it was a bug and you shouldn't use it. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta stop using this gem now, right? Prime example. Perfect example right there is that if you are a person that doesn't realize that doesn't belong in the system, then you're just going to use it not knowing. And, I lucked out in that situation, and, either they never noticed I used it, or maybe they noticed that I didn't use it for very long, and when I realized that it, was bad, I just kind of stored it in my bank, right? But, in my personal opinion, that's Blizzard's fault. I agree exploits should be banned, but I also agree that it should be obvious exploits because, like I said, if you're just coming to the game for the first time or returning after a long time, like with that Diablo thing, that could easily be overlooked, especially now. Especially now when people are literally sitting over there fucking soloing GR150s. You know, like the power is so much. Like I feel like there's an exploit in fucking Diablo every time I fucking walk in there, and there isn't. It's just the way the system is now. So really, how would you ever know the difference? You know, and Blizzard can't, you know, I'm definitely the exception to this rule since I do all these WoW weeklies, but Blizzard can't just expect that every player of theirs researches everything before they play it. And I feel like they're, you know, more or less telling you to do that because I see people getting, like, there's articles on fucking WoW bans, like, monthly, you know, and it's kind of funny. It's funny how it took them so long over in Diablo to, like, ban cheaters, but in WoW, there's bans for the most ridiculous things. You know, I remember a while back, I can't totally remember what was a vote. I think it was an add-on that, like, made the chick models in WoW, made their boobs look bigger, and that got banned. And I was like, what the fuck? So I feel like they're just out to ban anyone, you know, because, you know, even as a woman, I don't see anything wrong with that add-on. Like, come on, Blizzard. Back in 2004, I remember porn videos being made regarding WoW. And that's all them. That's all them. They created these models. They put them together. You know, they you know, they ignited the fire pretty much. So, yeah, that's just one other example, right? Okay, another thing is that there's been a lot of hotfixes done recently. There has been so many bugs for this patch that I'm not going to name off every single one. Instead, what I will do is I will put the link in the description below. It will be called Patch 8.3 Hotfixes, so it'll be easy to know what the link is, just in case I end up putting others in. And it will have it all there, because there's lots. It involves achievements, the auction house stuff, some NPCs and mobs, Azerite essences, PvP, corruption, races, quests, visions, the UI. Like, there's just a lot in there. So, like I said, there will be a link in the description. One thing that has been fixed that I did a video on just a few days ago is the Unearthed Artifacts quest. I had done a video the day it was the daily because it was bugged, so I, you know, let you guys know what was going on, you know, why it was bugged, and, you know, all that. It ended up getting fixed shortly after I did the video, which I also went back to the video and posted that. But that is fixed now, and yeah. However, that whole scenario of why it got bugged might be a reason it gets bugged again in the future. We don't actually know that it got fixed for real, because what happened is, in my personal opinion, I don't see it really fixed. what happened is you couldn't do it if you'd done the assault. And when it supposedly got fixed, we got the new assault. A cure. That's when a cure opened up. So I don't think it actually fixed. I think we just gained access to it because all of a sudden there was an incomplete assault on the map. And so keep in mind that if you've done any assault that's active at that time, that might get bugged again. But once the next assault comes around, you'd be able to do it. But, it just was luck that day, because that day it happened to be the daily, and that same day a new assault was opening up. So it just was kind of coincidental. So I personally don't think it is actually fixed. But we'll see. We'll know for sure when it becomes the next daily again, and if you did the assault prior to that. Okay, so this chart here, I just screenshotted for you guys. This is how the loot system works with the visions. So as you can see, if you do just the vision boss, which would be Thrall, 420 gear. Vision boss plus 2 bonuses is 430. Full clear, no masks, 445. And you can see the rest. I'm not going to read it all. But yeah, so that is what you need to do to get the maximum item level of loot. One thing I've noticed, maybe it's just a beginning thing, but I've noticed people don't really give a shit about the loot. They just want to get it done as fast as possible and just upgrade their cloak. I haven't come across too many people that actually want to do the objectives in there. Like, everyone just wants to go straight to Thrall and, get it done. And I don't blame them. It's, there's nothing special about it, and yeah. And at least that way you're winning if you just go straight to Thrall. Because if you rip the key, you rip the key. Well, I call it a key, but, the vessel. If you fail, you fail, and that vessel's lost, and you gotta make it up next week. So I don't blame people for just wanting to go straight to Thrall. Next piece of news I got for you is the Mythic Season 4. If you want a key, whatever key you're hoping to get, you will need to do 4 keys higher. So if you want a 10 key, you'll need to do a 14. If you want a 15 key, you'll need to do a 19. As far as, my personal opinion, unless you're some hardcore, Mythic plus person, I don't see a point in aiming that high. It's the first week you can move your key up throughout the week. Personally, I would just do a 10 and take the 6. I realize it's only a 6, but this shit's gonna be tougher. It's not gonna be, it's just gonna be tougher. So who knows? You put all that work in and you get your key ripped anyway, right? I would just stick to what's easily doable for you, not put too much pressure on yourself, and just work with the lower key and move it up. Literally, this is the last patch. So as far as getting to your highest possible key, you've got months. Okay, so next we have the avoid focus. So you can see that, you'll obtain the recipe, the Void Focus. It opens up some quests for you at the Chamber of Heart. You eventually do need to get the Shred of Insanity. How you obtain the Shred of Insanity is they come from assaults, and they can also come out of the new raid. So it's random. I'm guessing they drop not frequently, but not super, super rare, because to need to collect 200 for your final quest seems like a lot if it's gonna be a rare drop. That's a pretty hefty number there. So who knows? But I'm thinking that they're not too rare. I think maybe you're guaranteed a couple per raid or something. And as you can see, there is the professions here. So alchemy, you'll have your alchemist stones that you can do. All the professions can do 440 to 470. Of course, the crafting ones like blacksmithing, leatherworking, tailoring, and engineering, I believe, have BOEs. Not to mention the BOEs will be 400 item level, but they also have the higher end stuff, so they can craft 440 to 470 items. There's also some new cooking that will be in the picture. I'm moused over it, as you can see, because, I'm showing you guys as well here, but nothing really too great. Like, nothing really stands out to me with those cooking. And of course, another new enchant, just another scepter. It's with the enchanting and inscription, I'm a little disappointed because my main does those two professions, and I feel like they slack. It's always the same shit. Aventus rune for whatever the new raid is, another vessel, another scepter. Like, I just want some new names, The only new part is that it's called Uncanny this time. But it's still a sorceress scepter, and it's still an etched vessel. I'm excited to be able to make some new rings with my jewel crafting. The one that shocks me, though, is the staff. I don't think I've ever known the jewel crafter to make a weapon. So that one came to me as a shocker. Now, like usual, leatherworking has quite the list. I don't know what it is. Leatherworking always has the most stuff, but I guess it's because they make leather and mail, I believe, right? So yeah. Okay, and here you see the tailoring, which also can make BOEs and some high-end gear. So yay, tailors. And then there's the skinning, where it says that now you don't have to wait for them to collect their loot. Now, that just kind of, brings up an interesting subject here. Do you think that means... There's two ways that this could go, okay? One is, you say you're the skinner. You see someone kill something, you go and skin it, and then that person that killed that mob loses out on their loot, which, of course, will cause some forum rage. Or, if they're smart about this system, they could make it so that the skinner sees the loot, skins it, it's gone. But the person that killed the mob can still see the mob lying there, lootable. Right? If it was like a phased out type thing, I guess we'd say. I know we all hate the phase out stuff, but that's the only way I see this actually working. If the person killing the mob can potentially lose out on loot because of a skinner, I see a lot of hatred occurring. It's different for a skinner. A skinner's been used to it for years. If you don't loot, they don't get the skin. But now, if a skinner could rip you of your loot, I think that would be a whole different story. Especially if you were killing an animal that drops a mount, or a pet, or something that's very rare. Anyways, guys, that concludes today's WoW Weekly episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having fun in 8.3. We don't have Classic WoW to skip to today because there really is nothing new in Classic WoW, so I just decided to omit it altogether. Okay, guys, so that concludes today's video. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite part of 8.3 is. And I guess that calls it. And we will see you in the next video. Tomorrow's video will be the Gold Challenge video. And then throughout the week, I have a few other World of Warcraft videos that I've recorded within the past few days here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.